All right, I'm just gonna walk through my replay with some sound. And first, let's show the troops. So I have 10 root riders, 2 witches, the king with these 2 hero equipments. Normally I go with the vamp stash, which I have maxed, but since I was able to get the ball so high, I'll use that. Frosty is kind of an experiment, but it's been working well. Otherwise, I'd probably use the yak to tank. The queen has the unicorn, ice arrow, and this is the invisibility vial. They're not maxed, so there's room for improvement. The warden, I use Lassie because it goes in further and does some more significant damage, and I don't want the owl because it's an air troop, and that would be my only air troop, and it goes down too quickly. Then I use the rage to complement the root rider's HP with some higher damage. And then on my world champion, the diggy, because I use my world champ to dive deep into the base. I keep all my focus on the world champion, and diggy helps freeze defenses for the world champion so that she's not taking as much damage. And then the other equipment I have on the world champion would be the hog rider puppet, which work well also to destroy deep within the base. Grant the world champion that invisibility, which is so crucial. Give me some extra time and retarget defenses on other troops, and put her into the frenzy mode, which makes her all that more effective against the defenses inside the base. And the other ability, the haste file, so the attack speed increase and DPS increase. I basically turned my world champion into a shredding machine that I plunge deep within the base, and I'll show you what that looks like in an attack. I use the log launcher, and that's mainly to activate the town hall so that the root riders go into the town hall and make a path towards that because they're defense targeting. The Valkyries are used for some cleanup in the start. I mean, this is really not a cleanup attack where you need that because most of them are over within a minute and 30 seconds. The fastest time I've done this is a minute. 4 ice, 4 freezes to freeze all of the splash and high DPS defenses like the town hall, the eagle, and the monolith, basically to protect your heroes. 3 rages to always keep the world champion raged for even more damage. A poison for the clan castle troops and maybe a hero or whatever. And then in the clan castle itself, I use a Yeti and a Titan because they fill it out pretty well, and sometimes those end up being the only troop next to the town hall, and they're able to take them out with a rage. So it's a risk contingency plan that the log launcher gets them to the town hall and drops them, and when you have a rage available, you can take down a town hall with just those 2 troops. So let's watch this replay, and I'll probably do this maybe at 1 times speed first, so you can see this is only going to take a little over a minute, and that's with about 5 seconds of start time. So a root rider on each corner, then a witch right behind them, and those are going to go along the sides of the base. Then I drop everything in the center. I know that happened pretty quickly, but I did all 4 heroes just one after another, boom, 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 right in the center. And I'm dropping them on this side of the base, this northeast side, because I want them to go through the eagle to the town hall. No matter where these defenses are, that's how I line it up. Through the eagle to the town hall. And there happens to be a monolith here, which I know since my first troop I put down is my barbarian king. I'm going to freeze that monolith immediately. I could have put down another sacrificial troop to distract the monolith for a little while, but the freeze worked just as well. And I'm not one to change my attack strategy or troop queue, so this will work. I place all 4 of my heroes just like you saw. Then I place a line of root riders inside the Grand Warden's bubble. So from left bubble to the right of the bubble in a line, and sometimes I extend that just beyond the bubble so it's a wider line. Then right after the root rider line, I put down all of the Valkyries. So within what you saw, 10 seconds, I've deployed every single one of my troops. The root riders are on the corner, which will tank for the witch on either side. And then there's the center huge damage troops. So those are going to start going in, and I'll probably pause to explain some of this, but you can see the Barbarian King is doing his own thing. He's not going to be a part of this knife into the center of the base, which is totally fine. Usually he goes around and cleans up, which is why the Vamp stash worked so well, because he literally never went down. But I'm not going to keep my eyes on the Barbarian King at all, and let's just keep playing this forward. People go into the base, and what I'm really looking at is my Royal Champion the whole time. I'm looking at the Royal Champion to make sure her health is good, and the easiest way I can find her is by looking for that 45, because that is her level, and I know it's impossible to see where she is right now, but 45 is what I look at to identify her in a group of troops. And there's a lot of stuff targeting everything. The clan castle's been lured, and they're going to keep coming out, and you'll see since I had all the troops in a cluster and have already broken into the center of the base, I'm going to get huge value from my Grand Warden ability, and this is usually the case. They're all kind of clustered around one area, and they've broken into at least the initial part of the base. So I'll activate my Royal Champion ability to spawn the hogs, and as soon as all of those spawn, which is about a second later, and while they're still within the Grand Warden bubble, along with the rest of my troops, I use the invincibility bubble. Now, it's not the best idea to use them in the beginning of a attack or whatever usually, but this works really well because there's still a lot of defenses available to target things, and they're all going to be invincible for like 10 seconds now. But most importantly, the hogs and the Royal Champion. So the Royal Champion is a little bit behind, but I'm going to keep placing rages in front of her to make sure that she's always raged up. And in this attack, it went a little differently where the Royal Champion was a bit behind, but typically she goes in front of the other defenses, and I'm constantly putting rages on her to make her go extremely fast. And then I'm using the freezes kind of throughout the base to make sure that the highest DPS defenses, especially if they're splash, are frozen. And that would be the Eagle, the Multi-Infernos, the Monolith. Bomb towers and wizard towers I don't really pay much attention to, so you can kind of forget those. And this is typically what the end of an attack looks like, all my troops converging on one area. So let's play that again, and maybe we'll look at another replay. So let's go to attack log. Was this a good one? I mean, it's 100%. So here's another style of base. This one's definitely not too hard, but you'll see my setup for this is going to be the two corners, and then I'm going to attack through the Eagle to the Town Hall. So that means I'm going to put everything on the southeast wall, right in the center on that elixir collector, basically. So usually what I'm doing here is just kind of thinking that I place 2 root riders down, followed by 2 witches, and those are going to help me clean up, and push everything down, and then the line of root riders, the line of Valkyries, and I'm going to watch my Royal Champion extremely carefully. You can see that she's almost dead here, and I don't remember this replay. Maybe she goes down, but I'm pretty sure the ability will pop, everything will go off. Then I'll immediately use my Grand Warden ability to keep those guys alive. Yep. So you can see all the hogs and the Royal Champion should be invincible. They're moving through the base. I'm dropping rages in front of the Royal Champion where I think she's going to move. So she's pushing really, really far into the base and will be the primary target of all the defenses. So I think she goes down pretty quickly. And what I could have done better here is freeze more of the defenses that could hit the Royal Champion. This is fun. All right, back to this. Let's see what happens. So the Royal Champion's going to go down, unfortunately, because of all the defenses, and there she goes down right there. But the rest of the attacking troops here have created quite a wide wall that's pushing through anything and everything in their way. So they're continuing to go. I've got another freeze available, but there's enough damage here to make it through the rest of the base. And if I stop moving my screen, you'll be able to see everything that goes on from this point on. Plenty of HP headed down in the Root Riders. Queen's able to take down the Town Hall. Not the highest, hardest base that I've hit, but a decent one for the trophy range that I'm at 2,300 or so. And the reason I wanted to record this finally is that I had a perfect league day using this strategy, spamming root riders. You'll see I did not have any time concerns. I did not have any concerns of not finishing that base. Now you'll see my current league day, I started off a bit cold, the 1-star and the 2-star there, but every other one of my attacks today has been 100%, and my previous league day all 100%. So at the risk of this video going too long, I think I'll just show a couple more attacks, and hopefully they're higher level bases. I mean, this guy's got lower walls, but he doesn't have any of the merged defenses, so I'm going to skip this one, at least that I saw. I might have missed that. So let's go down. Let's look at the next triple from yesterday. So here's one that has the 2 merged archer towers. I'm not seeing the giant cannons. There they are. There's a monolith, and this one's important because it's different. This one is not oriented orthogonally. That is to say, it's more of a diagonal base, and it's taking up a huge portion of the map. So this is definitely a different style, and almost like a ring base with all these rings going around. But so I'm going to do the same thing that I usually do here, and well, maybe I misspoke. So typically what I would do is put it through the eagle into the town hall, which means I would attack from either the northeast or the northwest side on this base. But for whatever reason, I chose to go on the bottom right. I'm typically more comfortable attacking from this side, and I don't know why, but we'll go with that. I'll be able to take out the monolith as a key defense moving into the town hall. So maybe that's why I made that choice, but I probably should have gone through the eagle to the town hall, because the last thing you want is a long life eagle that's constantly pounding on your troops. So exact same thing as normal. I do the root riders on the corners followed by a witch, and then all my defenses in one little spot inside the Grand Warden bubble. They're going to go. My Royal Champion is getting hammered by the monolith and all the defenses, so they'll probably pop the ability, then hit the Grand Warden ability. Everything's alive. I'll probably rage that, and I missed the rage placement because they all went to the left, unfortunately, but maybe they'll come back through that. And it is kind of nice when the root riders hit the rage as well, because they're going to really sprint through the walls and take them down. Sometimes it can be a problem. They move so slowly through the walls. You want to get the walls down as soon as you can so that the other defenses retarget and path through those openings. Okay. I mean, you can see why I typically choose to go through the eagle, because this has been alive for more than 30 seconds now, just constantly raining them down, which is probably one of the reasons I chose to freeze it right there. Still coming down, and you can see about how this attack's going to end, so I'm just going to save you 20 seconds there, and we'll go to the next attack. So that, I believe that was the second one after my 1-star. Okay, this one, what does he have? He's got, I don't see any merged defenses or the big cannon, so I'll skip this one. See this one. All right, this is a decent one because he's got the 2 archer towers. The town hall's at the far corner, but you can see my setup will work very well for this because I'll be able to go through the eagle, destroy the monolith very simply, and even though there's stuff wide on the sides, the way I spread it, it should take out all of them. And in fact, I know I did, even though, wow, this replay is almost 2 minutes. So definitely not close to a time fill, but 2 minutes is definitely on the long end for the style of attack. So same exact thing, drop all the heroes, put the witches and guys on the side. The World Champion is way out in front, so that's good. I'm going to start destroying the defenses. That's fine. To still be able to attack through the tornado trap. Keep going, pop the ability, and then, yeah, before everyone leaves, sometimes it's nice to hang on to the ability for a little while they're still lingering inside that zone, and then as they're just starting to expand out of the zone, pop the ability, and that way they'll be heading into the next compartment fully invincible. So let's keep watching the world champion here. Going into the base, maybe I'll zoom out so you can watch whatever portion you so choose, but taking out the monolith, which is huge. World champion, lots of health left. This is great, and I'm keeping her in the rage at all times so that all that damage can be coming out. Okay, world champion's down. Root Rider's progressing well. They're going to open up the Town Hall compartment, which will let my queen get in there, even though she doesn't need to be that close. All right, great. And then what's really nice to see is, you know, the witches are just coming down the side, taking down defense after defense very easily. Actually used the Warden's Ball that time. It can be kind of fun. You get to choose whenever you want to use that. Typically, you want to hit as many defenses as you can, but it's not always possible to get the most value of what you want. And maybe this one's a little bit closer, but definitely all going down, so no danger here. I think I want to do one live just for fun. So I've got my clan castle full of troops. Let's make sure, yeah, everything's good. Let's just go. Got 2 left. Let's see if I can get the 3-star. This one's definitely a harder one, but I know what I'm going to do. Now, I'm never splitting my troops on a spike like this, where I would put one Root Rider in the center of the northeast side and one in the center of the southeast side. Instead, what I'm going to do is choose one of those 2 sides and kind of offset them kind of like this. So that would be my right, and then this would be my left. So not quite the corner, but I'm still going to split the spike just slightly. Then in the center, all of these guys, followed by this wide Root Rider spread here, and then all my Valkyries. Now I'm just going to watch the world champion and make sure she moves in towards the center of the base. It doesn't look like she's headed exactly where I want her to go, but it should work for me. Okay, and then she'll pop onto the eagle. Let's rage her up there so that there's less of that going on. I'm going to freeze and poison our guy here. Freeze that guy. The single target inferno. Okay, rage the world champion. I'm going to pop her ability and then use the Grand Warden ability. Okay, she's diving in deep. Here we go. Okay, rage all of that. I'm going to get massive value for my freezes here. And I'm just counting to make sure all of this stuff is consistently frozen. Let's hit that one more time. Pushing through the base with ease now. Okay, there's only a few defenses left. Use the ball. That should hit everything. So I have 8 targets on that right now. And I still have a freeze left. So typically with this attack, you'll end up with 1 to 3 freezes left. And what that means is maybe next time use a couple more freezes and try to go for a faster time. That's about it. But you can see I got the 3-star there. That was pretty fun, pretty easy, very nice setup. And then you just kind of track the world champion through, get as much value out of her as you possibly can, and then focus on freezing stuff that's going to target her. And the timing of the Grand Warden abilities is pretty important. The max value for that as well. Everything else mostly falls into place. I mean, that was pretty good for what I would consider a more difficult base for this attack. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. First one of this style that I've made, but I feel really comfortable with this attack now, so I don't mind sharing it. And thanks for watching.